Here we go now. Game number 2. Eden Valley, the home team now. And Levi Bass, line drive, one hopper. Great play by the shortstop, but not in time to get the speedy Levi Bass. Gets that leadoff infield base hit. So, second game just getting started here. Again, here at Paynesville Stadium. Paynesville will be the visitors in this second game. We got some burgers in us in between games. It's a little chilly out there. Jacob and I are up here in the press box. Beautiful up here. Right off the end of the bat for Sam Orline. Quickly to third base over to second to get a lead runner Bass, and he is out. So Sam Orline will be safe at first with the fielder's choice. Bass is out at second with one out. It'll bring up Luke Johnson, who had a good first game. Pitching this game today, Carson Geislinger getting the start. He was the shortstop in the first game today. Sam Orline over at first base with that fielder's choice, and Luke Johnson, the senior shortstop, up to bat here for the Dogs. Probably get the lights on soon. And Sammy was gone on that leg kick there by Geislinger. Boy, he had that base stolen. Nicely done, Sam.
As always, if you're any new listeners out there, this is the Wizard and the General, Lee Schlaper and Jacob Bertram. We're live from not the Crow's Nest anymore. No. It's the press box, or what should we call this?
I don't know what we can call this. We're going to figure that one out. Okay. But yeah, we are not in the Crow's Nest. Our next time in the Crow's Nest will probably be in the fall for volleyball. Jacob might be gone already for college, and I'm going to be up there. It's going to be hot, I bet you, in the Crow's Nest come fall.
Nice and toasty up there.
Yeah. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Luke Johnson with Sammy Orline in scoring position and at second base. We'll get you caught up with the defensive positions here for Eden Valley. Geislinger on the mound. Damian Lincoln, he'll bat second. He's playing short today for the second game. Alex Farnbacher batting third, the first baseman. Pitch is swung on, hit down that right field line. It's going to go foul, and it's going to be a 3-2 count now to Luke Johnson. Luke Jansen, will be batting fourth. He'll be at second base for the Eagles. Gavin Clocker, who had a pretty good game that first game for the Eagles. He is in center field. Connor Lincoln in right field. Michael Bosch at third base. Armando Walker, who caught the first game, he's going to DH this game. Pitch is high to Johnson. He'll walk. And Logan Hoff will bat ninth and play a left field. So Johnson with the bases on balls. So Sammy Orline over at second base. Luke Johnson at first. Carter Wetzel, who had a couple hits that first game, steps up to the plate.
Carter Wetzel being a junior.
Yeah, and today, the second game, Carter is playing first base after throwing all 7 innings and getting the W in that first game, an 8-2 Bulldog win, to move their record to 10-1 on the season. Looking for that sweep. Fastball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is the second doubleheader of the week for the Dogs. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Wessel, a little chopper to the first baseman. He thought about going to 2, turns around, flips it back to the pitcher, Geislinger, who's covering. A nice play. So 2 outs as Wessel is out 3-1 for the second out. And it's going to bring up the third baseman, Grady Fuchs. Grady moves over to third after catching all 7 innings in the first game. We'll slide over to the third base today with Caden Spanier getting the nod on the hill. Fuchsy had a really good first game. He had 2 hits, 2 for 2 with a sac fly and a couple RBIs. 1 ball, no strikes to the Paynesville third baseman and number 5 hitter Grady Fuchs. Fastball, Fuchsy, ground ball to second, up with it. Jensen flips it over to first, and the Eagles get out of it. Folks, he's out 4-3. And that'll do it for the Bulldogs here in the first. They'll leave two men on base after a half inning. Eden Valley going to be coming up to bat. All right, here we go. Bottom of the first here. Setting up this lineup for the Bulldogs. Caden Spanier, the junior, getting the start. Through, let's see, that first game against BBE, he came in and got the save in a 4-1 Paynesville win. Through, let's see, I think just 2/3 of an inning. No, a whole inning because Max Meyer, yeah, he came in for Max in the 7th with no outs. So he threw 1 inning on Tuesday. This one's drilled over Eric Johnson's head in right field for Carson Geislinger. And Geislinger gets a stand-up double to start things for Eden Valley here. Fastball left up by Spanier, and Geislinger gets it going. Still a good crowd here in between games. We're out visiting with people, and
it's a little bit colder than in the press box up here.
Yeah, it's not bad up here. And the people, they're all dressed up pretty warm. You know, they've got their winter clothes on. It's like a November football game actually right now out there probably. But
on the scoreboard it says 52 degrees, which I kind of believe that.
Yeah.
Kind of don't, but I think the wind makes it a lot colder. That's
right.
The reason why.
Yep.
There.
This has popped up. Spanier coming over to take a look. Abe Bullard makes the catch, a little basket catch for the catcher, Abe Bullard. Damian Lincoln is out for the first out. Nice play. Setting up the defense for the Bulldogs. Caden Spanier on the mound for the second game. Abe Bullard behind the plate, and I'll have to check with my partner, Jacob, to find out if Abe is a junior or sophomore. This one's ripped off the glove of Luke Johnson. Still got a chance to get him, and I don't think he did. No, yeah, that's a good call. Just safe. Carter Wessel.
Pretty wide stretch there.
Yeah.
Wessel.
They're going to give Luke an air there at shortstop. Kind of got an in-between hop there, kicked off his glove. So Farnbacher is on an air, E6. First and third now for Eden Valley. Abe Bullard, a sophomore?
Correct. Yep, he's a sophomore.
Okay, Abe behind the plate, sophomore. Over at third base, Grady Fuchs at shortstop. Luke Johnson, the senior. The pitch by Spanier is going to be called a strike on the fastball. Second base, the junior Levi Bass. And over at first base, the starting pitcher and the winner of the first game, Carter Wessel. No balls, 1 strike. Curveball swung on and missed by Luke Jansen. 0-2 in the outfield. I believe we have Zach Schrader in left field. Sammy Orline out in center. And Eric Johnson, another curveball. This one's popped up. Nicely done. Looks like who's going to get? Folks, he's going to call off Caden Spanier and take that out. So, 2 big outs here as Luke Johnson pops out to the third baseman Fuchs for the second out. And over in right field, rounded it out, is Eric Johnson. DHing today for the Dogs here in the second game is going to be Broden Jones, and I believe he's DHing for the pitcher, Caden Spanier. Fouled off over the Paynesville dugout. No balls, 1 strikes. Spanier in a little bit of a trouble here at the bottom of the first, but he's 1 pitch away from getting out of this now with 2 outs. Runners at first and third for Eden Valley. Curveball, just missing. 1 ball, 1 strike. I assume we're probably going to get some lights turned on here pretty soon. Getting her going here under the lights. Fastball outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, the JV playing right behind left field here, and they're playing a doubleheader, and the 9th graders are down in Roscoe playing a doubleheader also.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything from the fans about how the first games went on those, but hopefully they went well.
Nice block there by Bullard. Spanier now. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 error here in the first inning. Let's not let that one cost us, boys. Let's get out of this right now. Spanier now comes to the set. Geislinger gets his lead from third. Fastball fouled back by Clocker, who had a very nice game. 2 or 3 hits his first game. Let me look back at my book here. I believe Gavin Clocker, yeah, he was 2 for 3 in the first game and scored a run. 2 balls and 2 strikes? I don't know. That's what the scoreboard says, but I'm not sure what it is. I don't have my clicker up here today. Here's a pitch. Curveball. Swung on and missed. That's strike 3, and Spanier works out of it. Nicely done, Caden Spanier. Gets the strikeout to end it here in the first. After 1 complete, we got a no score.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the top of the second inning here. No score in the second game versus the Eden Valley Watkins Eagles and Paynesville Bulldogs. Good rivalry there. Both teams like to talk smack about each other, so it's now time to pay off, especially after our victory win, 108-0 in football, and 1 win in basketball. And what other times have we beaten Eden Valley? Numerous times, but hopefully our last game we have. So hopefully the second game weekend as well.
Yeah, we've had a nice little run here against the Eden Valley Watkins Eagles. Eric Johnson leading off here in the top of the second for the Bulldogs. It'll be Johnson. Geislinger's pitch, fastball, got the inside corner. It'll be Eric Johnson, Abe Bullard, the catcher, the DH, Broden Jones, and Zach Nelson. Easy E. Johnson, my man that I did the play-by-play with football with last fall. Eric last game. Let's see what Eric did. Eric had a nice base hit, scored a run and an RBI in the 4th inning of last game. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Johnson. Curveball outside by Geislinger, and the count's going to run full. Yeah, 52 degrees on the scoreboard, but the real feel's probably about 40, 38 maybe. Feels like it with that wind. That flag is still blowing pretty good over there. Here's Geislinger's pitch. Jammed him, falls it off. Coach Skugler going to chase that one down.
Getting maybe a little cooled out there, trying to get a nice stretch out the legs for Skugler to get the ball.
Yeah, he looks plenty warm. He's got a couple sweatshirts on. He's good to go. So Geislinger back on the hill now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. To the leadoff man, Eric Johnson. Fastball low and away, and Johnson's going to lead off the top of the second. Yes, the top of the second, because the Bulldogs are the road team for this second game. With a walk, it's going to bring up the catcher, Abe Bullard, the superintendent's son, right?
That is right. Yes.
Looks just like the old man, doesn't he?
Yeah. Chip off the old block.
Yep. So Bullard, my first opportunity. I've seen quite a few games. Well, not quite a few. I guess I wasn't able to go on the road with the Bulldogs to watch him play, but a couple of the home games, and I haven't had that opportunity to see Abe play yet. Made a nice catch there in the bottom of the first on that foul ball. As a catcher, it's always a tough play, and he made a nice basket catch. And let's see what he can do at the plate. Fastball, Bullard takes that for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Top half of inning number 2 in game number 2. Got this one going relatively quickly. Bullard follows that one back, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. First game probably got going about 4:05 or 4:06, maybe a little bit behind schedule. But this second game, the guys went out, Orline, Stanley, Kenny Osdorf, got the field back together, ready to go, and Eden Valley was ready to take the field again. So 1 and 2 now. Bullard takes that one way outside, gets by the catcher, and Johnson's going to move up. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and now Eric Johnson is in scoring position for the Bulldogs here in the second.
Looks like, Lee, we have 9 viewers now, and Dad's saying, sounds good. JB is 3-4, Eagles leading. JV, I'm guessing he means 3-4, Eagles leading. So
thank you, Jeff Burcham, for that update.
Yeah, thank you. Always nice to have our field reporters out there.
Yes. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Geislinger having trouble throwing strikes here. Checked his swing and fouled it off. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Full count here.
Nobody out with Johnson at second base. Base hit here could score him. Swing and a miss. He got him on the fastball. Looked like he was right on it. Just went through it. So Bullard is down on strikes for the first out. It's going to bring up the DH, number 20, Roden Jones, the senior.
First pitch right over the plate for a strike. Eric Johnson is still at second base. It's a nice lead out there.
Jones now. 0-1 to him. Oh, a nice looking changeup, or maybe a slow curve there. No, I think it was a change from Geislinger, and Jones was way out in front of that one. Might want to look for that one again. 0-2. Here's a set by Geislinger on the pitch. Outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I see Mike Jacobson down there on the first base side with his camera. Getting ready, taking some pictures here for the Paynesville Press. There it is again, that slow curve, or maybe a slider. Strike 3 on Jones. And 2 outs now. 2 straight strikeouts for Geislinger. It'll bring up the left fielder, Zach Schrader. Zach in that first game had a base hit, scored a run. Here's a line drive up the middle. Nice play by the shortstop. Throws and gets a Zach Schrader by a step and a half. 6-3 on the play. And that's going to do it for the Bulldogs after a leadoff walk by Eric Johnson. No score after an inning and a half.
Now,
here we go in the bottom half of inning number 2. No score. Connor Lincoln up first for the Eagles. Follows this one off back towards the on-deck circle. Connor playing right field in this second game today. Caden Spanier now. Swung on and lifted in the air, left center field, Orline coming over, but it's Zach Schrader who's underneath it and makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 down for the Eagles here at the bottom of the second.
Number 20, third baseman Michael Bouch.
Michael Bouch now, the third baseman, up. Nice slow curveball. Get me over. Curveball for strike 1 from Spanier. Carter Wessel got the win in the first game. Went all 7. Threw a gem. There's a fastball. Jammed him. Nicely done. Wessel comes over. Flips it to Spanier. And he got there right before Mr. Bosch got to the plate. Or to the base. 3-1 on the put out. And there is quickly 2 outs. Nicely done. Caden and Carter Wessel. And now it's Armando Walker, the DH tonight. First game, Armando was the catcher. So he's getting a little break behind the plate. Same with Grady Fuchs for the Dogs. Fastball, a little bit low from Spanier. Quickly 2 outs here. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball high, 2-0 now.
Lee, we have 14 viewers. That's great to see. 15 now. It just went up right when you said that. And
love it.
And yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in tonight from the stadium in Paynesville. There's Spanier's fastball. Strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike now to the designated hitter. 2-1 pitch. Curveball dropped in there, but oh, you don't want to call that one. It's a little low apparently. So the count runs 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Fastball, man, that's not missing by much, just a little low. It is a walk for Walker here in the bottom of the second with 2 outs, a 2-out walk. We'll bring up the left fielder, Logan Hoff. Number 9 hitter, Hoff. Jammed him, fouled it off outside of third base. No balls and 1 strike. I don't know if Caden has started a game this year yet. This might be his first start of the year.
I'm not sure either about that.
This pitch is high. Of course, Paynesville has a lot of pitching with Sam Orline, Grady Fuchs, Max Meyer, Carter Wessel, Caden, Luke Johnson. Eric Johnson can throw. Slow curveball falls out, and it's 2-1. And I think the plan probably is for Fuchsy to come back tomorrow night, throw, see through the first game of the week. Fastball swung on and hit in the air to Zach Schrader in left. Zach camps under it, makes the catch for the 3rd out. And after 2 complete, we have no score here in this second game of the doubleheader.
All right, now we have the junior, number 10, Levi Bass, starting out with the top of the third inning. No score here in Paynesville.
Yeah, Levi first at bat, and solid single. He's 1 for 1. Looks like he takes ball one, a little low from Carson Geislinger. Fastball out, and it's 1-1. Looks like the first pitch was a strike. Got a shout out here for Ben Moser and Marshall Hemmingson and Matthew Hemmingson listening in. Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it. 3 balls and no strikes. I was correct on that first pitch. It was a ball. And Levi gets hit actually on that fourth pitch. So, hit by pitch for Levi Bass here in his second at bat of the day of the second game. And he will take first base. Sammy Orline, fielder's choice, his first at bat, did get a stolen base. Geislinger's pitch is low and in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes here in the top of the third inning. Jacob, prom last weekend, and everything go well?
Everything went great. Yeah, it was a beautiful day, no rain. It was nice to drive. I drove a convertible, 1963 convertible Chevy Impala.
Nice.
So it was nice to take that for a spin and enjoy the weather. And we had Dino's, is where we went for prom. That was a nice meal. He did a fantastic job there, and it was a good night for dancing. And then we came back to the school and had after prom, and I won 18 holes of golf at Cronus Hills. So
good for you.
So it's great to have that, and yeah, it was a great night.
Yeah, I was able to, my wife and I were able to attend the parade, and we saw you and all the other couples. You guys looked outstanding. It was, like you said, a great day, and you guys looked like you had a lot of fun. So it was great that you guys were able to have a nice, beautiful day for prom. Sammy follows this one off, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes now. With nobody out, and Levi Bass over at first base. Coach Skuglin down that third base line, shouting out instructions and encouragement here. The 3-2 pitch. Oh, and he got it picked off. Oh. Yep, he had Levi. Levi actually took a couple steps. When Geislinger came to his set position, Levi kind of took another step. There was nothing he could do. He couldn't get back in time. So he is picked off. 1 out, 3-2 pitch coming to Orline. Swung on and hit in the air down the left field line. Left fielder giving chase. Nice hustle and a nice catch. Nice running catch. And that's the second out as Sam flies out to the left fielder. F7 on the play. And it's going to bring up the shortstop, Luke Johnson.
Two outs here in this top of the third inning. Luke Johnson, being the senior, stepped up to plate. First throw right over the plate for a strike. Yeah, you got to watch out for Levi Bass being at first. You know, take too many steps out. You know, you just get it right away. It's an easy call for the umps.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy call. He was caught in no man's land there. Now, Luke Johnson being a senior. Jacob, do you know where is he going to Gustavus next?
I believe so, yes. Him and Eric both are.
Okay, good for those two. Here's a ground ball that's going to get past the second baseman in the right field for a base hit, a 2-out base hit for Luke Johnson. Luke walked his first at bat, so he's 1 for 1 tonight. And it's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, the first baseman, Carter Wessel. Our man out there, Colin. I gave him my coat. I hope he's all right. I hope he's not too cold out there. He don't look too bad. It looks like the wind doesn't really affect the guys over on our left, which is down that third base line. More so down that first base line is where the wind is pretty strong.
Pretty toasty in here in the press box. No wind, and the doors or windows are shut.
Yeah, it's great.
Doing good.
I love it. Oh, nice block by the catcher, but Luke Johnson does take that base. He was off on the pitch. That's a stolen base for Luke Johnson. So he's in scoring position now as Carter Wessel. A good young hitter. Takes ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Paynesville trying to go to 11-1 on the season. Oh, we got a fat one, just fouled it off. That's going to be out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Carter kind of throws his bat down. He knows that was a pitch that he would love to have back. So 2-2 now with 2 outs. Carson Geislinger on the mound for this second game for the Eagles. Pitch is hit right off the plate, picked up by Geislinger. Geislinger throws the first, and they get out of another inning. 1-3 on the play, the put-out. And after 2.5, it's no score here in Paynesville.
All right, now we're back live again, and in the bottom of the 3rd inning as Eden Valley will take their chance to score here, and Bulldogs are out in the field.
Yeah, bottom of the 3rd, excuse me, and Carson Geislinger, the leadoff hitter. He is 1 for 1 tonight. Led off the game for Eden Valley with a double. Was stranded at 3rd base. Spanier's pitch is fouled straight back. Did that do anything to our camera?
Nope, it didn't, but I moved it a little bit. But we're looking good here. It didn't hit it, so
awesome.
Don't have to worry about that.
That's a great view. Boy, I can't wait to watch this on. Maybe tonight it'll probably be on already?
It'll be on, yes. We'll keep it on hopefully the rest of the night here.
This one's fly ball out to Eric Johnson in right field. And Geislinger's gone. F9 on the play. 1 out. And Damian Lincoln, the shortstop. Damian grounded out in the 1st inning. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Spanier now. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back by Lincoln. Quickly already into the 3rd inning here. Nice slow curveball. Might have hung a little bit. Zach Schrader, though's got a beat on it. And boy, oh boy, I wish I had outfielders who could run like that when I used to pitch here in this park. Zach Schrader ran that one down nicely, Don. And quickly, 2 outs. F7. 2 down. Because I needed, back when I pitched.
Yep.
You got to give it to Skooks. He didn't let me pitch much. That's why he's a good coach. But when I did, I sure could have used 5 or 6 outfielders. There wasn't too many balls that stayed in the infield when I used to pitch. Spanier now. Slow curveball. Get me over. Curveball for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Caden looking good on the mound. I see Coach Max Meyer chomping down one of those burgers over there. Looks good. Swing and a miss. And he's up 1-2 now. Caden comes back with that strong fastball after that slow curveball. That's what you have to do, is just keep these hitters off balance. Yeah, Max gives me the thumbs up, says it's good, it's good. Just missing there now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Spaniard doesn't work quite as quickly as Wessel. Curveball drops down and away. Bullard with a nice stop, and now it's 3-2 here with 2 outs. Folksy hasn't been tested yet over at third base. I don't know how much third he's played this year. I know he plays a little bit over there for the Pirates. But it's good to see Bullard getting some action behind the plate here. You know, it's tough you catching those 14 innings. It's always nice to have that extra catcher. There's another nice block by Bullard.
And Fairbacher would take his base on first.
Yep, he's going to walk on that one. So a 2-out walk here for the Eagles. It's going to bring up Luke Jensen, the second baseman.
Second baseman, Luke Jensen.
2 down. Fastball, strike 1 from Spanier. Good crowd. Jacob, we can hear him screaming, but we're not going to open that window because we want to stay warm, right?
Keep the wind out.
Yeah. Curveball swung on, hit to left field, and Zach Schrader going back. It's going to be off the wall out there. Let's see the relay. Get it in. Zach gets it to Luke, and they will hold second and third. We're all right, boys. Second and third here. 2 outs. Jensen waited back on that deuce and hit it to left field. So let's see if Caden can work his way out of this now.
Yeah, if Caden, just keep it cool and keep it calm, and you only need 1 more out to end this inning. So hopefully it turns out well. 1 good pitch and he can get out of this. And Gavin Clocker, who has had a great first game, had 2 hits, takes fastball up from Spanier. And this guy, maybe you want to kind of not necessarily pitch around, but you want to be careful. One of the better hitters in this lineup. His first at bat, he did get the strikeout. This one swung on and hit the left field right at Zach Schrader. He makes the catch, and Spanier works his way out of that inning. 2 men left on base for the Eagles. And after 3 complete, it is now no score. Paynesville coming back up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the head football coach, dean of students, and lunchroom provider, honors lunch teacher, Mr. Max Meyer, here for a quick interview.
Good to go, Max? Hey, Max, how you doing today?
Just toasty warm. And
Is it warm out there? I see you and Dave Orline kind of snuggling together over there.
yeah, I got to thinking, why did it take me so long to remember to come in here? But
Yeah, it is nice up in here. Hey, snow on this field this morning. Were you out here early getting the snow off, or you just let Mother Nature take care of it?
I think maybe about 1:15, 1:30ish, I came out here and just worked on the field until, I suppose it was probably 3:30 or 3:45, but real bad spots were by first base and then in front of the home dugout, and otherwise the rest of it was pretty decent.
Yeah, when I got here and I got the lineup of Coach Skoglin, it was just in front of the home dugout was bad. Everywhere else really looked great. The field looks like in tremendous shape. Do you have anything for us from the JV game, Max?
I haven't been down there.
No, we haven't heard a thing either. We know that they're playing in Roscoe and over across the field over left field. Max, your days of coaching baseball, what can you tell me about them?
Well, I had 2 years of coaching 8th grade baseball, so that was a lot of fun. I was actually, I've had more good stories for umpiring than I do from coaching, but that's always a classic, as you've probably umpired a few youth baseball games yourself.
Those are the best to ump, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are great. So you're telling me that after 2 years you didn't get to move up the chain and come up here?
Which is amazingly, because the number of years I've been coaching football, and we've just kind of been slowly but surely taking those guys off even the chain game gang onto the coaching staff, and I worked real hard, and basically I kind of got the pink slip after 2 years. And no, actually I coached 8th grade baseball, but when I started as an activities director, it just became too much in the springtime with all this stuff. Like today, if I would have had to get on a bus and go over with the junior high baseball team to Eden Valley, I was still working on the field here trying to get it ready, and I'm just trying to communicate. Today was one of the tougher days to make a decision because it's easy when it's pouring rain or something like that, but it was just so in between, and then even it's a little chilly today too.
Right. Here's Fuchsie with a ground ball in the hole. Nice play, knocks it down, but he's not going to get a play on it. And Fuchsie, I believe that's going to be an error. We'll have to check the official score.
Hasn't Grady gotten fast?
Very.
That would have been a tough play for that shortstop to throw him out, even if he would have fielded it cleanly. He did a great job getting over there. But.
Yeah, he did. I am shocked at Fuchsie's velocity on the mound this year. I talked to Coach Skugler, and he said, man, he might be one of the hardest throwers he's had come through the program. And he's only a junior. Looks good.
Probably saying something, huh?
Yeah, that might be saying something. This is Eric Johnson fly ball out of play down that left field line over by the batting cage. Max, did you guys have I saw on Twitter you guys are having a football meeting. Is that just a talk about the summer, what you want to do, or just kind of get a feel about who's all coming back, or what was that all about?
Yeah, primarily we would, do it once the spring sports were over and just to get the information out, but hopefully our spring sports are going until this school year's out, and so then it's pretty tough to have a meeting once school's over. So we had one, and it's just to let them know what's going on summer, what the schedule is for weightlifting, and just the different things that we do. We don't really do a team camp or anything, but we do some stuff on Wednesdays under the lights in the varsity field, and just
kind of. Now, did you get a nice number? Did you count? I assume you probably got the numbers as far as what do you got coming back in the fall. There's a wild pitch. Fuchsie with a stolen base to second. Now he's going to get third base with nobody out. Eric Johnson get us a fly ball.
Hey, before we talk about next fall, how about this fall? And the guy that's batting right now is your partner on the live streaming for football, Eric.
Hey, the wizard here, the guy behind the curtain, does a great job. Eric was the first one I got to work with. Eric was a great kid up here in the box, over there across the field in the football field. It was a lot of fun. And you and I got to sit down, and I know there's many more high school kids that are available and kids that want to do it, and I know they're going to be great for me to work with, but we got to find another couple because these two guys are going to go off to college on us.
Yeah, isn't that something? I mean, they're probably just barely squeaking by to get their diploma this spring, but
if we could throw a little, I don't know, try to entice them, they would probably stay back from college and just say, okay, let's just do the live stream.
You would have to tell me, Lee, is there pretty big money in the live streaming high school activities, Paynesville?
You know what? When you got a doubleheader and it starts at 4, you get out of work early. That helps. No, but getting back to our football, how many kids he's got coming back now? Now, was that 9th grade? Our incoming freshmen?
We have to do it separate because those guys' practices are over at the elementary school, so they got to hop on a bus right after school. Sure. So it's something Ted Nett started before me. Just had a quick meeting in the spring, and Scoogs and the rest of the spring coaches, Chris Wolfel for track too, have been super kind. It's a nice hit by Abe.
Base hit, Abe Bullard coming through with a huge base hit up, a fastball from Geislinger, and the Bulldogs here are going to take an early 1-0 lead. That's an RBI single for Abe, and Abe sitting on the bench that first game being cold, comes in here and makes a nice play on that foul ball, and now gets a base hit RBI. All right, Max, I'm ready for you.
Yeah, so anyways, we can't have those guys because they have to catch the bus to get to the elementary school. So we met with them during the lunch. We would do a high school lunch just to meet, but unfortunately the high school lunch is split, if you remember that. Yep. Even maybe it was like that when you were in school, so half the high schoolers are eating at one time and half the other. So it just really it's about just trying to have a quick meeting. So we had we anticipate right around 60 kids. 9 through 12 is probably going to be the number that we'll have.
Okay, now would that be close to average or above average?
I would say that would be high if we ended up with 60.
Yeah.
That's 15 kids a class.
Awesome.
A lot of times you'll have a little bit more in the lower levels, and that's Drew, huh?
Yeah, Drew Tagan running for the courtesy for the catcher. Didn't get a great jump there, and a nice throw down, and he is out at second.
Yeah, the throw was right on the money, wasn't it?
It was. Nice throw. 2 down. Rowan Jones DHing today. Got a nice base hit in that first game.
Yeah, I think on Tuesday night he hit one to the fence too, maybe.
He did. Ground ball here to short. And flip over to first. That's a 6-3 putout for the Bulldogs, but we scratched one across here.
Yeah, so that shortstop, I think, played third first game.
Yes, he did.
For them. He's got a good glove, doesn't he? Yeah, so I think, Lee, that's probably about the numbers. You know, we, of course, graduated 8 starters on defense and 7 on offense. So, you know, that brings back a few kids with experience. There's, you know, everybody that was on our roster on Friday nights had a chance to get into quite a number of games anyways. So a little bit of experience. But it's just it's a little bit different when you have to prepare to be out there when, you know, when the game's on the line or, you know, you're counted on to do that. So there'll be a learning curve for some kids, but, you know, it's nice to have interest, and we've had some kids that are working hard. So
absolutely,
you know, hopefully in the meantime they finish the spring strong, and baseball team's playing real well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. It's so much fun to watch, you know. And Jacob and I are up here talking earlier. They get that win tomorrow night against New London Spicer, and I'm pretty sure we could lock up that number 1 seed and get that home playoff here over Memorial Day weekend. Get a couple wins there, and we start rolling the boat. Hopefully we don't stop until middle of June, which would be awesome.
It would be good, right? I mean, one game at a time. We have a section game with Montevideo, too. I think May 17th or 18th, whatever a Friday would be in there. And, you know, so I think when you win those, it's still, baseball is still true to the face-to-face coaches vote. And a lot of times the head-to-head is going to mean a lot, and that's pretty hard to sit by, you know, next to a coach and vote somebody else above them when they, you know, lost to that team or whatever. So
yeah, exactly.
The fact that we beat Minnewaska, and if we can do the same with New London and Montevideo, that's going to go a long way, and I think that would really help our chances to get a 1 seed.
Which would be great to see again. Of course, we had the 1 seed last year. I was up. Here's a ground ball to Luke Johnson. Luke throws over. Carter Wessel. Luke is just a hoover. He gets everything. I was shocked when I saw him make an error there early. Watched this kid play since he was little. I mean, I talked about it in the first game. Skoogs has just got to love it to be able to punch his name in that lineup the last 3 years at shortstop. Up the middle is huge in baseball. You know, you want your middle infielders and your center fielder, your pitcher and your catcher. Those are huge, and Skoogs has got some. He's always had great kids up the middle for him. I was here Tuesday night for that doubleheader, Max, and I had an opportunity to talk to a couple of the freshmen. Now, they haven't had too many games in this spring, probably because of the weather, but also maybe because not as many teams have the numbers in baseball. Am I right on that?
That's correct. So that in the 8 teams in our conference, only 3 of them have a varsity, JV, and 9th grade, and we're one of them, right? So when we played Eden Valley, that's tonight. There's a doubleheader going on in Roscoe, and then Piers is the other one. So they played up in Piers. Now we have a 9th grade tournament. That's actually home on Saturday the 18th. And then so that must mean that game at Montevideo is on the 17th.
Sure. Ground ball, Levi Bass scoops it up, throws it over to Wessel. And I think Caden Spanier, the microwave, thought maybe that might have been the 3rd out. Caden, we play 3 outs in this
Hey, if you're pitching, you can't blame them, right?
No.
Yeah, if you can get in the dugout after 2 outs, you just got to do it.
I tried it all the time. But, of course, Skoogs didn't let me on the mound too long.
I was going to say, you got 2 outs because, well, the 3rd one someone else is going to get.
Line drive to the shortstop, and he doubled him up. That's how I got my 2 outs. Spanier, he's working well. Nice. He's coming with that fastball and that slow curveball, keeping these kids off balance, and that's all you have to do. You know, kids think that I got to throw as hard as I possibly can, and that's not the case. You change speeds, especially at this level, and you're going to be effective. And Cade's been doing that tonight. Max, you've probably been to most of these games. Cade, is this his first start?
This is his first start. That's what I was going to say. You look at the pitching depth that Paynesville has. We were in that doubleheader in Belgrade. They have a nice squad, and they had a couple really good pitchers that first game. And then the second game, their pitching wasn't the same. And you look at the strength of the pitching that we have. Caden here, he I think closed a game against Maple Lake and St. Cloud.
And he closed the game the other night. Got the save against the first game against BBE.
Correct. Yep. You're right. So, you know, here he is making his first start. So back to the 9th grade, Lee. When we schedule our non-conference games, we try to schedule with teams that have 3 levels so that it gets us some games. So Minnewaska, New London Spicer, Montevideo all have 3 levels. And so so tomorrow night, those those guys will, they'll wait all week long to play a game, then do a doubleheader today, and then they'll play New London tomorrow.
Sure.
So tomorrow's 9th grade game will be over on the JV field. The JV is going to play on the varsity field here first, and then the varsity will play under the lights after.
Oh,
so
that's great.
It'll be kind of a neat night for baseball.
Yeah, it will be. So you would the varsity now, they are 10-1. 9th grade, how many games do you think will they get 10 games in, Max, this year as a 9th grade group?
Yeah, as long as we don't get rained out, like for that tournament and Montevideo play, it'll be right around there. And traditionally, we'll try to get 15 to 16.
Sure.
If we can. Normal school that would have a 9th grade, Melrose, they didn't this year. We had a home and away game with Morris and an additional home game with Minnewaska that got snowed or rained out. So it's just been tough. And then with the pitch count, you want to get these games in, but you really can't try to sandwich 5 of them in 1 week at the 9th grade level, because we talked about the pitching depth they have at the varsity level. But at the 9th grade, they're at 9, 10, 11 kids, and then, you can only throw so many pitches, and it's just as much as you want to play the games, you can't just.
Yeah, and we're in a great situation here in Paynesville where, maybe those 9th graders might not get as many high school games in, but of course they got that I-94 and they've got Junior Legion. I mean, they're going to get plenty of baseball in yet this summer. And
they're going to play for probably one of either Regal, Lake Henry, or Roscoe, right? Yeah, exactly. It's not ideal. In a perfect scenario, we would be in a conference that would have 3 levels for all the teams, and then they would get those games. But it's just not what we're up against.
There's a fly ball that's hit well by Zach Schrader, and that's over the left fielder's head. Zach, with his speed, for sure a stand-up double here. Nicely done, Mr. Schrader, as the number 9 hitter with a leadoff double. And Max, when I was in school in the late 80s and early 90s, there was nobody that had a 9th grade team. So then you're sitting there, you're a freshman or sophomore, more than likely you're going to hike it over to the elementary school and play a JV game. And as a freshman, you might not get hardly any playing time. So, I think any games we can get as a 9th grade group is obviously beneficial for the entire program.
Because otherwise you stick 20 kids in that JV dugout and you're going to get 1 or 2 at-bats anyways. And do you want to get on the bus and ride all the way to, Piers has a 9th grade, so that's a bad example. But, there's some trips that you're making. You're getting out of school, and then you're not really doing much. That's a nice hit.
Exactly. Right down the line, that is Levi Bass. And Levi trots into another stand. The back-to-back doubles here for the Dogs. And that's an RBI double for the junior, Levi Bass.
Man, these guys hit well when I'm in here, Lee. I should have stopped in a little earlier.
I know. I was getting a little nervous here. Goose eggs across the board. And now they're starting to get the Geislinger and Sammy Orline up. Sammy, he's having struggled today. He hasn't gotten a hit yet. He grounds back to the Geislinger, flips it over to the first baseman. Sammy, still a good hitter. Got a great look at all those lefties. They got it made. Left-handed pitchers, they got this little movement on the ball, and they say that it just comes naturally, but if I'm up, I'm checking their pockets because they probably have something in there to grease up the ball. And then the left-handed swingers, boy, the bats, they just look so nice. This is Luke Johnson now.
Sam had a couple nice hits on Tuesday, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Hit well.
And Sammy's going to St. John's playing football and baseball, right?
Yeah, I just was talking a little bit with Josh Bungham last night, of course, because Josh is a former player, and we had that meeting. Mm-hmm. And, he was saying that it's a nice time for Sam to be going there because St. John's is graduating a lot of outfielders. So,
nice.
I imagine Sam probably have a chance to pitch as well there, maybe if he wants to work at it. Sam's a good pitcher.
Yeah, I love when these kids go on. For many years there was almost a looking down, not at the Division III level, but at the JUCO level. And I tell kids, even if you can go to JUCO, junior college, and play baseball, go. And they just really embrace that. Kids playing college baseball at any level, in my mind, is a positive for our program. You get to tip your and you know this from football. I'm sure you love it when you see one of your kids go on and play any type of college football.
Yeah, so what would, if we tried to count, and I'll probably miss some, and you probably know more, but there'd be Matthew Quaid at St. Cloud State. You got Grant Ludwig and Zach Ossendorf at St. Cloud Tech.
Yep.
Zach
McAdams is over at Ridgewater Community College.
At Ridgewater, so that's 4 of them. Is there anybody else?
Sammy Haynes, and I think he transferred now, but he was playing junior college up north in Duluth, but I think he transferred for his schooling, so I don't think he's playing junior college this year. Yep. But yeah, there's a good group of kids. Here's another good young hitter, only a junior, threw a great game. Carter Wessel had 2 hits in the first game. Carter, the number 4 hitter, sitting at, I think Skooks likes him in that 4-hole.
But he had a huge hit against Belgrade.
Yes, he did.
He basically had that kind of broke it open, right?
Yeah, that was a huge hit. Scored those 2 extra insurance runs to make it 4-1 against BBE. That was a big hit. Yeah, I was outside. And here comes Levi Bass. Levi's going to score on this. Boy, oh boy, you can't teach speed. Skooks will be the first one to tell you that. Skooks always told that story when he was in the minors, They put him right on the line. Let's run to 40. And everybody's like, why are we running? He says, I can teach you how to hit. I can teach you how to throw. I can teach you how to catch. I can't teach you how to run faster.
Yeah.
That was one of the stories Skooks told me that I can actually tell on air about the minors. No, I'm just kidding. Skooks always had great stories.
Isn't he a great storyteller?
Oh, man. Oh, we could sit in the dugout and talk all night long. It was so much fun. So now we got Grady Fuchs up to the bat after Levi walks. Paynesville going to try to open this one up here with 2 outs, a 3-0 lead. Fuchs, he's been hitting the ball well as of late. Early in the season, he was struggling. That one gets away from the catcher, and there goes Wessel down to second base.
We've gotten a handful of free bases here this inning, haven't we?
Yes, we have. They've kind of, in Eden Valley, always traditionally been a good baseball town. They got a good program. Right now, they're young too. 3 or 4 wins overall. I think only 1 or 2 in the Central Minnesota Conference. So they're kind of struggling, and you come up against this Paynesville team that's just been rolling. I mean, even the one loss to Pierce up in Pierce was a great ball game, only losing 3-2. I mean, team could easily be undefeated, but I don't think Coach Skoglund really minds them losing a game or 2 like that, to ground the kids and keep getting them hungry to keep winning. But this group, you really don't need any extra motivation with these guys, especially this kid at the plate. You know that from football. I think he was ready before he got off the bus to go on that football field for you.
Well, and, you have 2 towns right here that are so close to each other, so what ends up happening is they're competing against each other from the moment they can do youth sports, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so close. It's one of the earliest teams that you play and travel, whether it's basketball, baseball, and so it just becomes quite a rivalry.
Yeah, and they're so close. You're right. And a lot of these guys, their homes aren't that far from each other, so they all know each other. There's another wild pitch by Geislinger, kind of struggling this inning. Catcher doing all he can. New catcher this game, Mr. Walker, is DHing for the Eagles.
So was that first catcher a freshman?
I think he was.
Yeah, I thought.
It looked like he's a nice little catcher, actually.
Good athlete.
Yeah.
I thought I remember him wrestling in the 9th grade and under league, so I would imagine that.
Yeah, there's no doubt these kids, they got some good athletes over in Eden Valley, and it's so much fun in any sport we play in because it's always competitive and it's always fun. There's a line shot. Great catch. Oh, it's off his glove. It's going to be tough to get Fuchs. He's safe. That's an infield hit for Grady Fuchs, and that's going to score another run. But a great play there by Lincoln Damian, the shortstop, diving to his left, knocked it down, just couldn't get enough on the throw. So an infield hit for Fuchs, and an RBI, and another run, and it's 4-0 Paynesville. This is Johnson.
How about Eric
getting a hold of one? One hop the fence. Fuchsy rounding third. Skooks giving him the arrow to go, and he's going to score easily.
So in honor of Eric and his announcing for football, I feel like I should say, and Eric hits a second right there.
Yeah.
Or do you call it a double in baseball?
We go double in baseball, but I get you. I understand.
Man, he was so fun to listen to, Lee.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Over Christmas break, I think it was, and they're just super cold. What they call that polar vortex.
Yeah.
You couldn't open your eyes outside or they would freeze. And so I listened to some of the games you guys called, and Eric would have the classic that would bring it up to 4th and 3rd. But like
4th and 7th. My best though, when we crossed the 50 that one game, and he said they're 1st and 10 at the 52. I said, Eric, that would be the 48, but we're good. We're golden, buddy.
He just pull it off like.
Oh yeah, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Yeah, he did a great job up in the booth for me. Yeah, now our next time we'll be in the school. We'll be in the fall for volleyball. And that's going to be interesting because, of course, I go to a lot of the volleyball matches, and you're there all the time, too, of course. And it gets a little steamy in that gym at the end of August. I wonder what it's going to be like up in the crow's nest.
I'm guessing they'll have air conditioning installed by then.
Yeah.
Meaning that those grills will be open or whatever.
Yeah, that's my air conditioning. That's all I need.
2 of those fans in the corner.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Nicole Humbert's really got that program rolling every year, of breaking records as far as team wins and getting to the 2 years in a row now, I think, subsection finals for that program. I mean, that's...
yeah, haven't they done a great job?
Yeah.
Volleyball staff and the whole
much
program,
fun to watch
kids,
that.
The amount of work they put in, and
yeah.
And
then, of course, this spring, our first live stream, we were able to do a softball game, and of course, it wasn't a bad night for Jacob and I, but we get to face Maple Lake, the defending state champions, and I didn't find this out until after. But that pitcher they threw, the left-handed girl, she's only a freshman, and boy. Maple Lake has got a good softball team.
Uh-oh, all right.
That one's going to go down the line, and Eric Johnson, see what speed does for you. You put pressure on that defense, and they start making mistakes. That's a throwing error by the catcher that will allow Mr. Johnson to score the 6th run, the 5th of the inning, and Paynesville has opened this one up a little bit. But, yeah, the girls against Maple Lake, it was just... I was really impressed with that pitcher. This one's hit well. Over the left fielder's head. Get out! Hey, 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 hey! And look at this trot.
Slow it down, Abe.
That's Mr. Abe Bullard, the catcher. Oh, yeah, he got a hold of one there.
What do you want to say? Scoot said, make sure you touch home plate, right? Now, Lee, I don't have any experience in that. It wasn't like I was in the home run trotting around. I was, maybe getting a walk or bean and get the first and maybe on a dribbler or an air. But he says, make sure you touch home.
Make sure you touch home.
Abe hit a home run on Tuesday in JV. And the interesting thing there is that was BBE. Of course, Abe went to school there, and then his dad got a job here as superintendent, and they came over. And so that would have been his friend that he hit the home run off of. And
wow, was that one tattooed left center field for Bullard. And when he knew it was gone, he started to slow down right before second base, and he said, I got to enjoy this. This might never happen again.
And you can't blame him, right?
No. Hey, in this sport, you fail 7 out of every 10 times. If you do something good, you should enjoy it. That's the way I look at it.
He keeps hitting like that, he's going to be peeing in a cup. Test him for steroids, probably. But.
You got Caden Spanier down there going to get loose now. He's been sitting for quite some time on that bench. So.
Speaking of getting tested for steroids, Caden, huh?
Well, that's where I was leading there.
Yeah.
I don't know who we got pitching. Jacob, did you? Here we go. Michael Bausch, who played third base for him earlier in the game, comes into pitch now for Geislinger. Geislinger giving up 6 runs this inning, 7 total on 8 hits. And Paynesville's bats really got smoking here in this half inning. As Broden Jones now will be coming up. Broden's third at bat. Had a nice base hit in that first game. 6-3 put out his last at bat, and he struck out his first at bat. these are the games I like when you keep putting these crooked numbers up every inning where I have to keep moving over in my scorebook, as long as it's for the good guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think one thing being said, when we talked about the Bulldogs and you think about the team that they have, first of all, you can't give them extra bases, extra out. They had, not that would have been a great play, but the shortstop had a chance on the one Grady hit. And was it Zach that hit one over the left fielder? Yep. Misplayed. They weren't bad plays by Eden Valley by any means, but this baseball team is too good
to give them extra outs.
You're going to give them extra outs and extra bases. I mean, they've had 2 outs for a long time, haven't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is Broden Jones, a senior. Broden, I'm not sure if he's going off to college, Jacob.
I thought NDSU, or is that incorrect?
Good for Broden.
I should probably give this headset back to Jacob because he knows a heck of a lot more.
Right after this inning, Max, we'll give it back to Jacob. You're our good luck charm.
I came in for a half inning thinking it was just going to be a quick little short deal. And
we start talking, we just can't stop, and it's been good.
Plus, it's warm.
I know it is. It's beautiful up in here. Even got a little sun peeking through now. I'm glad we got this in. I know I spoke to you earlier in the day, Max, and I didn't think we were able to get this in. Like I said, I saw water sitting by third base about 8:15, 8:30, and of course the entire outfield was covered in snow. That's strike 3-2 now to Jones. And it really, when the sun came out this afternoon, it warmed it up a little bit, and even with that wind, it dried it off, and I'm glad the boys were able to get this doubleheader in.
Yeah, Matt Dickhausen, and shout out to him too, right, for putting all this live streaming stuff together. And he was emailed me this morning, what are the chances you think we're going to have the game? Because we got to set up the equipment. And my response was less than 25%.
Yeah, right.
And then at noon we came out, and I thought, in the last, because I think I checked it at maybe 10, when I got to school, and 10 o'clock, and from 10 to noon, there was a fair amount of melting.
Sure. Yeah, it was. Zach Schrader's second at bat this inning. Zach had a double, his first at bat this inning. Yeah, and as the day went on, it just kept getting, the field kept getting better and better. So Zach's going to take that one outside. Zach Schrader, now here's a football player of yours, Max. He's going on to play college football.
Up in Concordia. He's going to be a Cobber.
Good for him.
The head coach at Concordia is a gentleman by the name of Terry Horan, who's from Wilmer.
Oh, okay.
I think played in, I don't know if it was an amateur team or some baseball team that Skoogs was on. So Skoogs knows him pretty well. And
now is Gavin Stanger, 2017, I think, graduate. Is he up there at Concordia?
That's where Gavin is, yeah.
Yeah, and he's still playing football, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Yep. So we're going to have 2 former Bulldogs up there playing.
Yeah, Gavin was excited that Zach was coming up there, so.
That's awesome.
Gavin will have 2 years of eligibility left.
I still got 4. If anybody needs to be nice, play from his knees, but it's not going to be nearly in time to get Schrader. That's going to be an infield hit. And now Mr. Levi Bass, who had a double, his first at-bat this inning with an RBI, actually got the scoring going. Levi Bass. So first and second, 2 outs here. Again, Paynesville, the away team for the second game of the doubleheader.
That part's weird, isn't it?
It is weird. I know. I've had to say that a few times.
That's something that, of course, when we came over to the CMC, that was the way they scheduled it. There didn't used to be doubleheader scheduled unless it was a rain thing and you had to do it last case scenario. And so it took me a while to get used to the first time we hosted one and the second game or away. And, of course, back then, we didn't have a scoreboard that we did, so you couldn't adjust it, and it was just a weird deal because you'd look at the score and Levi's going to get hit.
Yeah, that one's going to be a hit by pitch. Levi's second hit by pitch of the game. Last time he did that, he got picked off of first. I still blame the first base coach on that one.
Do you think he could see the pitcher with his hood up?
Yeah. I don't even know if he has a baseball hat on anymore. I mean, me up here in my Gophers stocking hats, that's something. But down there, no, he does have a lid on there. So there's a base hit right back up to, nice play by the second baseman, Jensen. Steps on second to end it. Finally, but not before the Bulldogs score 6 here in the 5th and take a 7-0 lead. Max Meyer, our fearless leader as the athletic director and dean of students and the high school football coach. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, bud. Now, Logan Huff, the left fielder, will bat for Eden Valley here. Always fun to get Coach Maher up in the booth.
I know he said that he knows, or I know more than he does, and I don't think that's true. I'm sure he knows a lot more than I do.
Fly ball out to Sammy Orline. He's under it, and he makes the catch for out number 1 here.
It's always great to talk with him. We eat outside for lunch. We call it Honors Lunch, and every day we eat outside in the courtyard. So establishing that, and
sure,
great we get to eat out there, and he comes out there once in a while to talk with us, and it's nice to have that close interaction with him and
absolutely
enjoy the outside weather as we eat lunch. So great to have him in here for a nice interview.
Nice interview, and this one's hit well off of the wall to Hopper for Geislinger. That one Caden kind of hung up there, and he knows it. A little curveball that didn't do much. Only the 3rd hit of the day for the Eagles, and it's Geislinger's 2nd. He has 2 of the 3 hits here for the Eagles, and a stand-up double with 1 out here in the 5th. Yes. So this is Damian Lincoln, the shortstop. Spaniard's pitch is a strike 1. Caden's still throwing well, throwing hard, keeping him off balance. 2 errors, and I think they could even have more. I think there was a throwing error in there for Eden Valley. Paynesville still just with that 1 error, didn't cost him anything. There's a foul straight back. Look at Broden Jones going after that foul ball. Good hustle, Broden. Good to see.
Yeah, it looks like the sun's peeking out from the clouds a little bit.
Yeah,
that's
and
nice to see.
I look out here, that wind has died down, but it is still a little bit of wind out there. Spaniard's pitch drops before the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to the number 2 hitter, Damian Lincoln for Eden Valley. Just after 7 o'clock here, high fastballs hit in the air. Looks like Levi Bass is going to catch it right on the edge of the dirt and the grass for the 2nd out. 2 down now. And it'll bring up the first baseman, Alex Fahrenbacher. I know Alex played football for Eden Valley, a big guy in the middle, all that defensive line for him. Good football player. Got a good glove over at first base for him also. Spaniard's pitch is a strike on the fastball. At this point in the game, Jacob, you got a 7-0 lead. Now you're just looking to throw strikes and let your defense take care of it here. So see if Caden can get out of this without giving up a run. This one's hit in the air in foul ground. Carter Wetzel with the catch. That is the 3rd out. Still 7-0 Paynesville.
All right, now we're coming back here as the top of the 6th inning. The Bulldogs will have another chance to score some runs. Leading off for the inning is number 9, senior Luke Johnson. Stepping up to the plate now.
Yeah, Luke scored a run last inning in that big 6-run inning for the Bulldogs, and he lines a base hit to left field. Luke having a nice game here. Leadoff base hit.
And I think our scoreboard man is a little off too because he's got a 0 up for the Paynesville Bulldogs, but they are actually the visitors.
The baseball now as they hit it.
This is Carter Wessel.
Just keep rolling that like you were for.
Carter takes inside, goes in the dirt behind the catcher, and Luke will take that base. So Luke now on second base with nobody out. In a 7-0 ball game, 10 hits, 1 error for Paynesville, no runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors for Eden Valley. Pitch is high on the fastball. 2-0 now to Wessel. Carter's has had a good day pitching and hitting. Swings and hits it a ton, but it's going to go foul. Looks like it's going down that cart path. There's a young Bulldog fan chasing after that foul ball. What do you think? They get quarters here? Or
maybe they could. We used to get freezies back in the day, so hopefully we get. Looks like that's one of Max Meyer's.
Oh, he's hustling. That's good. Ooh, that one's
nice
coming
shot,
up this way.
and almost hit us right in the face. It did, however, hit the camera, so we'll have to go back and hit that and move that down a little bit.
Oh yeah, just a little bit. Moved it up a little bit. So far, it's been pretty good down there.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Knock on wood, hasn't been hit yet or broken, so that's good.
Carter goes after that high one. High curveball that didn't really break. Falls it off down that third base line. Carter's shaking his head saying, yeah, I probably should have swung at that one. 2-2 now to the cleanup hitter for the Bulldogs in a 7-0 game. Pitch is swung on and hit to right field fairly deep. Right fielder going back now. He's under it. Makes the catch. Johnson will take third base. That's a sac fly for Carter Wessel as he moves up the runner. So Luke Johnson now over at third base with 1 out. And that'll bring up the third baseman Grady Fuchs. Fuchs swings and misses at that first offering. And I think we're in the top of the 6th, not the bottom of the 6th, like the scoreboard has us.
Is that Kenny running it? Maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure. Folksy gets a hold of one. That's going to be over the left fielder's head, just missing it. And Folksy's going to walk into second base with a stand-up double and an RBI. And it's 8-0 Paynesville. So Fuchs continues to hit here. He's only got out once this game. 1 out. 8-0 Paynesville as Johnson scores on that one. Now the sophomore, I believe he's a sophomore. I'll have to ask the wizard. I think Drew Tangen is a sophomore.
Yes, he is.
Yep. Getting his first at-bat of the day. Left-handed hitter. His dad, of course, played here in Paynesville. Michael, I had an opportunity to play with him back in the day. Hey, takes it high for a ball. Tangen now sitting with a 2-0 count on a beautiful Thursday night here in Paynesville.
Can't get any better than this, Lee.
Oh, I love it.
I'm glad we were able to get the stream in, and we'll get a couple more yet.
Yeah.
As the baseball season comes to a close.
What do you think? Here's a ground ball back up the middle. Oh, nice diving stop by the shortstop. He does not have a play. That'll be an infield hit for Drew Tangen. And so, Jacob, I'm starting to wonder now, will we be able to, I know the first round of the playoffs will be here in Paynesville more than likely if we get that #1 seed. And then I think they have to travel either to Granite Falls or to Marshall for the next couple rounds. And I don't know what the chances of us being able to go on the road are. Maybe we can get down to that state tournament.
Yeah, going on the road would be pretty easy for our setup, but with the rules of the tournament, not sure how all that works, so we'll have to see on that.
Wait a minute, rules?
There are rules.
Okay.
It's too bad. Yeah, I know, but hopefully we'll get down there.
This is Bullard going for number 2 on the night. Hit it deep, and it's going to be dropping in left center field. And Bullard continues to hit hard. A home run followed up with a base hit and a run batted in as Fuchs comes around to score. And it is now 9-0 Paynesville. Trying to invoke that 10-run rule, of course, here in the 6th inning. Broden Jones now, the senior, walked his last at bat, swings and misses at a high fastball. So it's hanging out at second. Bullard over at first base. There's still only one out here as the Bulldogs have put together 13 hits in the second game. That one's going to drop a low. 1 ball and 1 strike. It looks like the JV game is finished down there. Of course, they played a doubleheader.
I'm trying to get the score here from one of our reporters, my mom.
That's right, your brother's playing down there, isn't he?
That's correct, yep. He'll be playing at JV level, and she's just going to text me the last score, and if we don't hear from anyone else from over here. So hopefully it turned out good. I know they were losing by 1, down by 1 at the 3rd or 4th inning there, so hopefully it turned out good.
Around. Jones takes inside for ball 3 now, 3-1. With 1 out, and looks like Max Widener has grabbed a bat, and he's on the on-deck circle. Going to take an at-bat from Zach Schrader, looks like. Jones now takes a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the 6th. 9-0 Paynesville. Infield in for Eden Valley. Jones pops it up. See if it stays in play. Catcher coming back, and that's such a tough play for any catcher. You know, you're down in your stance and you pop up. Your eyes are bouncing, the ball is bouncing up in the air, and you're lugging all that equipment, and you try to make that catch. That's a tough one for any catcher.
Well, I got the score for the second game. They won 10-4.
Nice.
So nice game there by JV players. 10-4, second game. Not sure on the first.
Okay. They got that second one at least, though. Jones strikes out swinging for the second out. And it'll bring up Max Widener here.
Great to see Max back out there after his football injury late in the season. He's been working hard to get his strength back in his leg, and I think he pitched a couple times already this season, and it's great to see him out again playing baseball. He missed out on basketball, but it's great to see him back here.
Yeah, Max ended up having 3 surgeries when it was all said and done after that football injury. This one's lifted down the left field line. It's a long chase for the left fielder. He dives and makes an outstanding catch for the 3rd out here. So Paynesville does not get that 10th run to cross the board. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, I believe.
Yep, that's correct.
9-0 Paynesville. We are back and ready to rock and or roll. Luke Jansen, the second baseman, stepping in to face Spanier, and Caden's throwing a gem of a game here, only giving up 3 hits, and he starts Jansen off with a strike. 9 runs on 13 hits and 1 error for Paynesville. 0 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors for Eden Valley. Here's a ground ball outside of third. Jensen down on the count now. No balls and 2 strikes. How many days left of school, Jacob?
I believe 12 for seniors.
Don't even try to. You know exactly how many days are left. Yeah. Curveball. Luke Johnson's going to come in and pick that one up for the first out here in the 6th inning. I got it down for the 7th, but it is the 6th. 1 out as Clocker will come up to bat here. 12 days left.
Actually, it's been pretty busy around here, for at least for me, for the live streaming, BNC work, makerspace work, other assignments. I have a big essay for honors. Going around all the activities of the National Honor Society.
Wow.
Student Council. So it's been pretty. If there's no senior slide for me, for this guy, I'm enjoying every high school moment I can, and I'm fine with that.
That's
so.
Awesome. This one's hitting to the gap in right center field. Looks like a new right fielder out there for Paynesville is Drew Tangen. Picks it up, and it's going to be a play at second, and he slides in Clocker with a double. Slide in double for Gavin Clocker. And Eden Valley has their 4th hit. Yeah, that's kind of a big load there. Mine was just make sure I show up that last couple weeks of my senior year and hope and pray they give me that diploma. That's all I can ask for.
I'm glad you did. So that's good to see. Tori Spanier saying, "Hey Lee, who were the pitchers back when you played? Doug Thielen, David Bass." Trying to remember.
Yes, was that from Tori?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, our pitchers. Kind of funny stories there. Yeah, David Bass was one of our top pitchers, and Dougie Thielen. Back then, if you had a heartbeat, you could throw a little bit. You were a starting pitcher. Skooks had his hands full with our group. Marky Spanier threw a little bit. I threw a little bit. But our 2 main pitchers back then were Dougie Thielen and David Bass. Well, yeah, there's a swing and a miss. 1st and 3rd here with 1 out.
18 viewers on our stream right now. Thanks again for tuning in. If you haven't heard us say that already, but
yeah, we sure do appreciate it. Slow curveball just outside. And back then, we actually, my senior year, we beat a very good Litchfield team, which was back then called the Districts, to move on to the what today would be the sections. And there's a pitch just low from Spanier, doesn't like to call. So we were able to play at Dick Putz Field. We played quite a few games there, and we beat a team, Minnehaha Academy, their first game, and then we ended up playing McCrory. And let's just say when we took the field, we were the home team, and when we took the field, the sun was still out. When we finally got into bat, the sun was down and the lights were on. I think we were down 8-0 after 1/2 inning. So that McCrory team had some really good ball players. There's a story behind that, too. We lost one of our starting players after a 1/2 inning. Here's a ground ball past Wessel at first base. That's going to be a base hit and an RBI. That'll score a run for the Eagles. Yeah, back there at Dick Putz Field, they had bathrooms down there, and our starting second baseman, after we were down 8-0, ran in there. Marky Spanier ran into the bathroom and slammed that door and broke the door handle. So he was stuck in the bathroom for like 3-4 innings. Yeah, we got a pretty good kick out of that. It was pretty funny.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. We came back out that next inning, and I wanted to make sure I stood close to Coach Skoogland because I wanted to hear the explanation. He was saying to the umpire as far as, why are you making a change? So Skoogs came out there, and he goes, yeah, making a change at second base. I believe it was Stevie Bass came in to play second base, and the umpire said, boy, Skoogs, it's kind of early to be pulling your seniors. He goes, well, I have no choice. He's locked in the bathroom. We can't get him out. So he missed half that game. But it was a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun now. Boy, this stadium, this ballpark is, the field itself has improved quite a bit, but obviously this great grandstand is something else. We get an opportunity to come here and play the Pirates every once in a while with the Roscoe amateur team. It's just a great facility to play baseball in. the people of Paynesville and Coach Schoolin and all the volunteers. They've really done a great job here to make this a top-notch facility, boy.
It's only getting better.
Yeah, here's a fly ball out to center field. Sammy Orline's got it measured now. Let's see if he makes a play at the plate. He is tagging, coming home. A good, strong throw. One hop home, but he does score. They want to appeal. And no on the appeal. The run is going to count.
Scoreboard saying Eagles have one score, and I thought they scored another time before this.
Yes, they
That
did.
should have been their second one.
Yep, it should be 9-2 in my book. I believe you are correct.
As long as the live stream's correct, I think that's the only thing that's important, right?
Absolutely, we're on top of it. 2 down here. Spanier now. He's given up 6 hits. Here's a ground ball to short. Johnson up with it. Flips to Bass for the 3rd out of the inning. And we go to the 7th. 9-2. Paynesville. Trevor Hemish here gonna pinch hit, and it looks like down in the bullpen, and I think that's Levi Bass warming up for the Bulldogs, maybe getting an inning in here. And Trevor falls one back towards us over the top of the press box. No balls and 1 strike to the pinch hitter, Trevor Hemish. Pinch hitting here for Levi Bass in the 7th. 9-2, the scoreboard. You got it right now.
There we go.
Yeah, that one's going to get by the catcher. Good thing I brought my sunglasses, because that sun is starting to shine right in here. One thing we don't have to worry about is mosquitoes yet, though, Jacob. I like that.
That is true, yes. I enjoy it, too.
Here's a ground ball hit hard back up the middle. Second baseman. Oh, it got up on Jensen. He's not going to be able to make a play. That's going to be an error. And Hemish will reach on the air from second base. And that'll bring up Sam Orline. Top half of inning number 7 here. Orline takes high for ball 1. 3 errors now on the books for the Eagles here in this second game. Another pitch that floats high and outside to Sam now, 2-0. 9 runs on 13 hits for the Bulldogs. Swings at that 2-0 offering and pops it up in the infield here. The shortstop is under it and makes that catch. Boy, Colin's doing a great job out there with the camera,
zoom.
isn't he?
Yes. It's
just an excellent job there. Having Colin Lauer helping us out tonight. Thanking him so much for the work he's done, and Matt Dickhausen setting us up, and you, Wizard. A beautiful night at the ballpark here in Paynesville is Luca Johnson now with 1 out. And Hamish still over there at first base. 1 ball, no strikes to the Paynesville shortstop. It's a ground ball, 2 hopper to short. Goes 1, gets that at second base, and that's all they're going to get, as they will not get Johnson. So Hamish is forced out at second base for the second out of the inning. And Coach Skuglin, the Hall of Famer, comes down to talk to the head umpire, and it looks like we're going to get another pinch hitter. Skoogs is looking down. Maybe he didn't bring his cheaters with. What do we got coming up? That's Fuchsy in the on deck, but he is not scheduled. The scheduled hitter would be Carter Wessel, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Carter coming up. I think Coach Skuglin used everybody in that dugout already. So Wessel comes up and hits one well to right center field, and they're not going to get this one. Cut off by the center fielder, but not before Wessel rolls into second, and Luke Johnson comes all the way around to score the 10th run for the Bulldogs on a nice double by Carter Wessel. And this is Grady Fuchs. 10-2 Paynesville. Fuchs swings at the first offering, lifts it up into center field, coming in hard and diving in off the heel of the glove. And Carter did not stop at all. He's going to come home to score the 11th run of the game for Paynesville, as Fuchs gets another hit. 11-2 now Paynesville, and Drew Tangen will step up to the plate. Drew came in last inning for Eric Johnson in right field.
It's great to see that we're after this game we'll still own the bridge on Highway 55.
That's right,
there.
my man.
And a great, nice win. The first game, probably as well, the second game here against Eden Valley and our rivals. So it's great to show that. Maybe next couple of years they'll come back and beat us a couple times.
Yeah, they're going to try to come back and get that the battle of the Highway 55 bridge. Oh, we're still right there with that camera.
Just have to make do. It's a little at an angle, but you can turn your head a little bit and make it straight.
Absolutely, you can see that. You know, with these 2 wins tonight, sitting at 11-1 on the season now is Paynesville. After this game, we'll wrap up here. Able to get all the players in. Another big test tomorrow night as New London Spicer will come to town to play the Bulldogs. I believe that's a 7 o'clock tilt. This one lifted into left center field. That's going to drop, and that's down for a hit for Tangen. First and second, 2 outs, and Bullard is going to get another chance. He has a home run and a single his last 2 at-bats. Tangen with a base hit.
Number 24, Ed Bullard.
11-2 to Paynesville. 15 hits now for the Dogs. And Coach Skuglin's got to be happy with the performance tonight. You know, Wizard, you and I were talking earlier, talking about player of the game. Boy, and I think we got to give it to the whole baseball team tonight to get 2 big wins against their rival, Eden Valley. Here's a fly ball. Under it now is the right fielder. He makes the catch, and that's going to do it for the Dogs here in the 7th. We head to the bottom of the 7th, 11-2 Paynesville. Levi Bast, and to finish it off here for the Bulldogs, the junior. I think Levi's probably first time on the hill this spring. And it looks it. First one a little short. No, in warm-ups there, Levi was throwing fine. First time I was going to take a little bit here for Levi, but it's always nice to get another kid out there that hasn't thrown much in game, get him some experience. It's a nice pitch, just off. And the count rolls to 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. And a 4-pitch walk here to start off the 7th inning for the Eagles. That was Geislinger with the walk. Damian Lincoln now. The shortstop. Bass now. There's a strike. He's got good velocity on that fastball.
He just fooled the crowd when he did on the first walk. Now he's mean business.
This one's hit well, left center field. Right center, Sammy Orline on it. Tracks it down for the first out here in the 7th inning. The Wizard and I would like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and putting up with us for the last few hours. Has been a lot of fun.
Yep, it has. There's 18 viewers now. It's been a great night here, and I'm glad we were able to get the game in, and hopefully we'll get one more, like I said before, get a couple more in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much fun doing this, and like I said, hopefully this probably will be on the YouTube channel tonight already, more than likely.
Yep.
So kids can watch the game, and Coach Skoglund can critique it. And here's a first pitch strike there by Bass, and 0-1. 11 runs on 15 hits, 1 error for Paynesville, 2 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors for Eden Valley. Swing and a miss, and Bass is up 0-2. 1 out here in the 7th. That's it, Levi Bass. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and 2 outs now. Could be, no, this isn't a pinch hitter. This is going to be, I believe, Gavin Clocker.
Tomorrow night, the Dogs take on New London Spicer, I believe, at a night game. We won't be live streaming that, but you still can come out and support the Bulldogs as they'll be at home. I believe it starts around 7:30.
7 o'clock, I think. I think they were going to try to get it going at 7.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be hopefully a nice night for a ball game. And New London, there's another team that's, a big rival, Paynesville. That one's followed back by Clocker. New London Spicer, just 14 miles down the road. Pretty big rivalry. Don't get to play them in football much, but baseball, of course. They're in our section. Good team in the section. Bass pitches high. Good velocity, though, coming out of Levi Bass's arm here tonight. So hopefully another pitcher that we can use down the line. Tries his deuce there. Left that one hang a little bit, but he did get the call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, and we're hearing it from the crowd now. They're saying, come on. Hey, I like that. Got some Eden Valley fans right below us.
Yeah, the crowd's He sustained pretty well throughout the night.
Yeah, it's great to see. Bass pitch fouled back. See if we can get that elusive strikeout here to end this one.
It's a full count now.
2 outs. And now Bass is ready on the mound. Ooh, just low. That was not it. No, that was 3-2. Okay.
Oh.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And Geislinger just trotted down to second base without a throw. He thought it was ball 4. And this one's driven over to Wessel. He makes the catch, and that's going to do it tonight. Paynesville takes 2 from Eden Valley. The battle of the Highway 55 bridge. The trophy stays here in Paynesville until the next time these two teams face off, either in football, basketball, or baseball.
That is true.
And Wizard, a great night. This final score tonight was 11-2 in Paynesville in the nightcap. Good 2 wins for Paynesville. Jacob, what do you got for me? Anything? I sure did enjoy it tonight.
Yeah, it was fun to get together again. I made a little picture here as we have the General and the Wizard up here.
Oh,
great to see so many fans out here and the live stream here, and I'm glad we were able to make it work. As always,
I'll sign off first, of course. This is Lee Schlaper, the General, signing off from the stadium in Paynesville. Row the boat, Sky Yuma, go Gophers, but more importantly and always, go Bulldogs.
I'm Jacob Bertram. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and remember to stay cool, Paynesville.